All right, we're going to talk about Da Nang, Vietnam, and my deep thoughts on what I think about Da Nang, Vietnam. We'll do that right now. You ready? Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, what's up? JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia here in Da Nang, right on the beach. Look at this beautiful beach. We're gonna head over to my favorite stop on the beach called the Paradise and get myself, I don't know yet, maybe a mango smoothie or maybe a beer. I haven't had a beer all week, so we might do that. I want to talk about Da Nang and do a little deep thought on everything. So, pluses and minuses. I lived here for about 3 months last year, end of last year, beginning of this year. And I've been here several times, handful of times. I'm here for another couple weeks before I head back to Bangkok. But I wanted to let you guys in on what my thoughts are as far as possibility of living here. Just had a really good lunch with Evan and Will. Evan A, yes, that's his channel. Will Travels with a Z, that's his channel. So I had a good lunch with those two guys. Did a video with Evan and Will together. And then I interviewed Evan yesterday, and I'll post that in a couple of days. Well, it's probably already posted by the time you see this one. So let's talk about what's so great about Da Nang. First of all, the beach, world-class beach. I mean, look at that. How can you not love the beach? And the water's pretty calm today. A lot of times it gets pretty rough. You can actually do some surfing. I mean, it's nothing major. It's not like Big Sur or anything like that. But if you're a beginner or intermediate surfer, you can definitely catch a wave here and have a good time doing it. Learn how to surf and that sort of thing and enjoy yourself in the water. But it's beautiful. I mean, look at that. And in the background there, you got the Lady Buddha off there in the mountain. I mean, it's just white sand beach, beautiful large beach, not super busy. We are in the high season. So the other day it was packed, but this is midday. It's like 1 in the afternoon. So it's really hot. That would be one of the downsizes. This is probably the hottest place I've been to since I've been in Southeast Asia. Hotter than Bangkok, hotter than Manila. It's like 94 degrees out today, but the heat index is like 114, something like that. And we're in the middle of that right now, so it's really warm. So the key is get in an area where you got a little bit of a breeze, like from the ocean. Find as much shade as you can and hydrate. That would be my advice. But that would be one of the cons. If you're coming from a climate that's not really hot and humid, it could take a little adjusting for you. So that's something that I would warn against, or warn that this might be a little bit of a culture shock for you landing here if you're not used to the heat and the humidity, because it can be stifling this time of year. Now, on the plus side of things, they have seasons here. So come September, you're going to get into the rainy season. September, October, probably the heaviest part of rainy season. You know, typhoon weather. If you get typhoons around here, you might get that. Then November, December, January, and into February, it's just wet. It rains pretty much every day. It's cooler though, and that's what's nice. You get a little break from the heat. So if you want something that's more seasonal, Da Nang would be a good place to live, because you've got that season where it gets cooler, but at the same time, it gets very rainy. So you have to be aware of that. Let's see. Let's sit. Hello. See if we can sit somewhere close and get a shot of the beach. Let's sit over here. Oh, that's reserved. I wonder what's reserved for. We'll sit up here. All right. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is cost of living here. That's a big plus. Very inexpensive to live here. This is probably one of the cheaper countries in Southeast Asia in which to live. My apartment that I'm staying at right now is like $13 a day. Could I get a mango smoothie?
Okay.
Kapunka? Or
Mango smoothie.
mango smoothie, yeah. Come on. I keep forgetting I'm not in Thailand anymore. That's one of the things. If you travel a lot, you're gonna, at least I do, I get the languages all mixed up. So I said thank you in Thai to her. I don't think she understood what I was saying. But yeah, so we're paying like $13, $14 a night at where I'm staying. You can get really cheap places to live. The first place I stayed, the hotel I stayed at the first time I came a couple of years ago, it was called GOBN. And I walked right by it actually earlier. It's right down the road, about 2 blocks from the beach. And this was a little over 2 years ago. I was paying $9 a night. And it was a big room, probably about 45, 50 square meters, big king size bed. I don't remember if it had a balcony or not. But it was nice. I mean, it's an older hotel. So they don't have all the amenities. They don't have the pool. I don't think they had a pool. I don't think they have a gym to speak of. But for $9 a night, it was really nice and very close to the beach. So even though prices have gone up a little bit here in Da Nang, it's not to a point where you couldn't afford to come here and stay extended. The tourist visa is another plus. Construction's a minus. They're doing construction everywhere in this city, everywhere. You can't go a block without at least 1 or 2 buildings being redone. I don't know if I'll even recognize this area of town in a year. That's how much construction and rebuild is going on. Staying long-term, they really don't have a retirement visa here. So if you're looking at coming here and not working, you can stay on a tourist visa, and basically it's an e-visa you apply for online, and you get 90 days, and it costs $25 US. That's single entry. If you want to do a multiple entry where you can go back and forth on one visa for 90 days, that'll cost you $50 US. But I've got friends here that stay long term, and they just do a border run every 90 days, and they can continue to do that unlimited times. I don't think they've ever been questioned coming back in with a new visa. So unlike in Thailand's kind of changed. They're kind of limiting what those border runs are now. They don't want you to stay more than 180 days on a tourist visa. Here, it doesn't matter. So if you don't mind leaving and coming back, and you can do a border run on a bus. It's about a 12-hour round trip. Costs you about $160, I think. That includes the trip itself. That includes the stamps, both in Cambodia and Thailand, or in Vietnam, to come back. The whole thing is like $160, but you got to be on a bus 6 hours one way and 6 hours coming back. So that might not be your cup of tea. Or you could fly out every 90 days and fly to another destination pretty cheap. I mean, you can fly to Kuala Lumpur. My flight back to Thailand in a couple of weeks, it's only $45, I think, something like that. So you can do that. If you fly out, you have to apply online for a new e-visa, and that takes between 3 and 5 business days to get that email of approval. If you do the border run on the bus, they do all that work for you, and however they do it, you get the stamp the same day. So you don't have to wait that 3 to 5 business days. You get the stamp right away, and you come right back to Vietnam. So those are kind of your options for long-term stay. Finding long-term rentals is not a problem. They don't care what your visa is. So that's never been an issue. If you're on a tourist visa, they don't care as long as you're paying your rent. Come on. I'm going to start with a mango smoothie and then work my way up to a beer later on this afternoon, probably. I don't know. My willpower might hang on. I might skip the beer. I'm trying to lose weight. I had a guy comment I was getting chunky. Yeah, I am getting chunky. I gained a lot of weight. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's just that good lifestyle, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so that's one thing. The visa options and the long-term stay options, that could be a plus or a minus, depending how you look at it. The food is good here. They've got obviously really good Vietnamese food. I just had a noodle lunch. Evan from Evan A, he bought lunch for us today, so that was really nice of him. And it was a really good lunch. You can get some pho, which is a noodle soup. You can get the banh mi sandwiches with this, which is like the baguette with the meat and the vegetables in it, which is really, really good and cheap. Or you can get Western style food. They got a lot of Western style restaurants here. You can get some fairly inexpensive food down in the Am Thuong area. If you go around on the riverside, you can get some really cheap restaurants there. If you're on the beach here and you go up north, you've got all those resort style restaurants that are a little more pricey, but the food's really good. The place I really like is called Esco. I think it's ESCO, I think is how it's spelled. And they've got super good burgers there. And you go inside and you can see the ocean view from where you're eating, so that's really neat. So the food options are pretty good for Da Nang. Da Nang's a good-sized city, but it doesn't feel like it. It's like 1.2 million people, something like that, maybe a little larger, but it doesn't feel that big. It feels more like a small town because it's divided into neighborhoods, and the neighborhood I hang out most in is An Thuong. So you've got a lot of really nice Western restaurants. You got all the Vietnamese restaurants. You've got bars, the good bar scene there too. And fairly inexpensive. A pint of beer will run you about 85,000 dong, which is about $3.30, something like that. So it's a little over $3 for a pint of beer. But a lot of these places have specials during happy hour where you buy 2 and you get 1 free. So if you can drink 3 pints of beer, that might be worth a deal. In Thailand, basically a pint of beer is about 110 baht, which is about $3, a little over $3. So about the same deal, depending if you're getting the happy hour price or not. Let's see. One of the downsizes, the cons of living here is the majority of the restaurants and bars are open air, so they don't have AC. So in these really hot times, it can really be suffocating. They may have fans, but sometimes the fan just doesn't do the trick. The air can be so heavy and thick and hot that even a fan doesn't help much, just blowing hot air on you. But yeah, most of these restaurants and bars are open air, so you're really not inside, you really don't have AC. Now there are some that do. There are some restaurants that you can go inside and they've got AC and you're fine. But I would say the majority of them don't have that. They don't have the closed-in area with the AC. So that could be a con, that could be a minus. But when you think about everything all wrapped into one, you know, the cost of traveling outside of Da Nang is cheap. They've got an international airport here, so you can fly direct to Bangkok, you can fly direct to Manila, you can fly direct to Kuala Lumpur. You can't fly direct from Da Nang to Chiang Mai, Thailand. You have to get a connecting flight from Bangkok. So they don't have that yet, that direct flight to Chiang Mai yet, but most of the larger cities you can fly direct. And it's relatively cheap. Like I said, it's like $45 for me to fly to Bangkok in a couple of weeks. And depending what time of year, what time of month, and how far advanced you book your flight, you're going to get different prices. So I use Momondo.com, There's a couple other websites you can use and find really good deals, but I've always used Momondo and I've never had a problem with it. So that's a plus, flying out of here cheap, so you can actually use Da Nang as kind of a hub for your travels. It is quite a ways to Ho Chi Minh City and to Hanoi, so taking a car or a train or a bus will take you a little while, quite a while to go. So the best route is to fly, and it's relatively cheap, so why not? But you know, all things considered, this is my second favorite city in Southeast Asia where I've lived. Bangkok being number one. But Da Nang is a close second. It's got that beautiful beach, that world-class beach, and that's your main point. And then the cost of living is super cheap. So those are the main things, you know. But I do love Bangkok. I gotta admit, BGC and Metro Manila is a great place to live too. That would be a good soft landing if you've never been to Southeast Asia before, because you can go there, live for about a third of what you would in most cities in the U.S. or in the West. They speak English well, so you've got a lot of Western amenities there. So that would be a good soft landing if it's your first time coming to Southeast Asia from the West. But once you get used to things, you know, the language barrier is a little different here, so that could be a negative. Not a lot of people speak English. Now, if you get into like the bars and restaurants, they speak enough English that you guys can get by with ordering your food or drink. That shouldn't be a problem. But a lot of the retail places here in Da Nang, at the malls and the stores, a lot of them don't speak a lot of English. So if you're at a grocery store and you're trying to find a product, it could be a problem trying to explain what you're looking for. You might have to show them a picture or use Google Translate. Google Translate is something that you'll probably need when you come here, some sort of a translation. Or go to my product page and you can get a translator there. Let's see, what else? Dating is probably a little tougher here. Well, definitely a little tougher here than it is in the Philippines. It's easy to date in the Philippines. Age gap's not an ordeal in the Philippines. It is a little bit here. You're not going to be an old dude dating a 20-year-old Vietnamese unless it's pay for play. And they don't have a lot of that here in Da Nang. There's not a big adult entertainment area here in Da Nang, if at all. So if that's what you're looking for, Da Nang's probably not your place to be in Vietnam. You should probably go to Ho Chi Minh City. So those are the, you know, dating is kind of, they want to make sure you live here. They're not looking for a holiday boyfriend. They're looking for a steady, long-term relationship. And a lot of times you're going to find that they don't speak English either very well or at all. So having that translation app available is going to be important. Now, that might be a deal breaker for some of you. If you want to date somebody and they don't speak any English and you don't speak Vietnamese, that could be a deal breaker. So you just have to keep that in mind and just you know, kind of look for the girls that actually speak some English. So your dating pool is going to be a little shallower than normal if you're looking that way. So, but there you go. Plus and minuses. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If I missed anything. All in all, I think Da Nang's a beautiful place to be. It would be my second choice right behind Bangkok. That's why I came here for my visa run. So like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. And as always, live life, my friend, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.